Now we will listen to the next speech from Buddhism, Marinatana Thero. Please, you may start when you're ready.
Okay, thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about the Buddhist concept on human sins. Actually, in Buddhism, we don't have such a concept which says human inherited sins. But there are good and evil actions that human do. Then it creates outcomes, means results. So these good and evil deeds can bring positive and negative consequences. So these consequences we can say as sins. But in Buddhism it is not only the negative aspect of actions, but there are positive aspect, which means the good actions or the good deeds. So by doing these good deeds, so you can create the positive values. So there are, for example, the physical actions. By bodily, you can do things, and physical actions can create these results or the consequences. And this concept we can apply to the both verbal and mental actions too. So then it is very important, according to the Buddhism, to remember that every action is not productive. So there should be intention. The volitional actions can create or generate the results or the outcomes. So the willpower in any action is a crucial factor of giving results or creating positive or negative effects. So there are human actions without willpower or planning or any intention. So these actions may not have great power to change or make some differences in the life. So actions without or with productive power can also be changed or dilute, we can say, the power of giving results. That means good and evil actions can offer results in 4 different times. For example, in this very life, here and now. So some actions are ripe enough to give results or give effects. And the second option is not in this life, but the next life. Some actions will give results next life. And the third option is after the next life, any other lifespan or the lifetime. These actions can give results. And there is a fourth alternative, which says that some actions, the result of some actions can be diluted. That means through wholesome human actions or the righteous behavior. So in that way, some actions, not all evil actions, but some evil actions can be diluted. The results can be diluted or overcome by wholesome actions. But there are major things or major actions, the evil actions, that the result cannot be diluted, or the consequences cannot be diluted. They will give the miserable consequences. So these actions are killing one's mother and father, and also injured, or the killing arahant. Arahant means someone who is enlightened, and also injured Buddha, a fully enlightened one, and also creating disharmony in the society or in the community. So these 5 major actions, the evil actions, will give definitely the miserable consequences to the person who commit them. So another important factor in Buddhism to understand within the concept of action and reaction is that it does not work as a law or a punishment. So there is a possibility to change your future. and it is not your destiny. So by living righteously and doing wholesome actions, so one can transform miserable situation to the life, to a happy and comfortable one. So there is a famous Buddhist text in Dhammapada book. There is a verse which says, by oneself indeed is evil done, and by oneself is one defiled. By oneself is evil not done, and by oneself is one purified. Purity and impurity depend entirely on oneself. No one can purify another. So how to purify or how to transform these evil actions or evil things that we do, either by physically or verbally or mentally. So somebody can determine or forgive himself or herself what he or she has done, the mistakes. So then he can determine, so I will not do the same mistake again. And this determination he has to remember all the time. And also the mindfulness, whatever the things you do, so you have to do these things with mindfulness. With either you speak, you do something or physical actions or verbally when you speak. So you have to be mindful. In that way, you have the possibility to transform your evil actions or the bad doings to positive reactions or the positive consequences. So when we consider about the sins, there is a Pali word which is called papa, bad results. So you have to do the opposite. That means the merit. The opposite of sins is the merit. There is also a Pali word which is called punya. Punya kamma means the good actions or the wholesome actions. So by performing wholesome actions, so you can transform the negative tendencies to the positive tendencies. So there are roots of the actions, whether good or bad actions, there are roots. When it is about positive actions or the good things that we do, so the generosity is the root of some actions, some good actions or wholesome actions. And then also the loving kindness, also another root of wholesome actions. And then wisdom, it is very important aspect. The wisdom also, through the wisdom, by improving the wisdom, so you will perform or you will do good actions. So then about the negative tendencies. The negative tendencies are, for example, instead of generosity, someone can be greedy. Greediness is a root of evil actions. And then also there is another root which we call hatred. Hatred also root of bad actions. And then third one is the delusion. So by these three negative roots, greed, hatred and delusion, it can create the negative tendencies or the negative result or the consequences. So there is a choice. So anybody can determine to improve these positive tendencies like generosity, loving kindness and also the wisdom. So by improving these three kind of the positive actions or the positive doings, so anybody can change their life. So anybody can transform the negativities to the positive values or the positive result or the consequences. So actually this is a short description according to the Buddhism about human sins. So I think I will wind up my short speech here, wishing you all the best with the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem. So thank you.
Thank you.